It's reckless football that'll win this.
Someone should tell the game's over. It's not worth getting yourself knocked out about.
Have a go, you big slug. Come on.
Hit the boundary line.
Yates came off the wing and went straight for Dermot Brereton.
Neil Danaher comes in for the kick. And he's put it through. The fellas have hit the front. 1.3 goals for Neil Danaher. 15-8-28. Oh, Masalenko, you're guilty.
Ted, we won this one for you.
It's rolling towards the boundary line and Harms almost makes ground. He taps it back to Sheldon. It's a goal! Oh, what a goal! That is the gutsiest performance I have ever seen in my life.
Hello and welcome to Footy Flashbacks. Today we head back to the AFL centenary season 1996. It was an emotional time in footy as momentum gathered behind a proposal to merge Melbourne and Hawthorn to create a new entity, the Melbourne Hawks. And by the final round of 1996, Melbourne was out of the finals race, whilst Hawthorn needed to win to have any chance of making the finals. 63,000 fans came to the MCG not knowing if it would be the last time they would see their side play. Neil Kearney is with the two men who played that night to help us remember round 22, 1996, forever known as the merger game.
We were at the magnificent National Sports Museum in the bowels of the MCG to remember the last home and away game of the AFL centenary season 1996. And this game had a whiff of history about it itself. David Neitz and Daniel Harford, both great players in that game. How do you remember the build-up to what was called the merger match?
Yeah, I guess at that stage for me, I was a young tyke, 21 years of age. And,
you were 19?
I was 19, yeah. It was enormous. It was such a big build-up. It had been since about June that the merger debate had come up for the clubs. And Hawthorn had come off a flag 5 years earlier, 91. So as players, we're thinking, what's going on here? How does this happen? But obviously off-field was that there were much more issues.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal sort of time, I guess. And you think of some of the greats of the Melbourne Football Club at the helm of the club at that stage, and thinking that there was no viable future. So it was a crazy time, and from a player's perspective, I guess, and the build-up into the game, at least for us, I remember there's a lot of talk about the clubs merging and who's going to be playing where next year, and fighting for spots and all those sorts of things. So I think the start of the game was a little bit fiery, and there's a few heavy hits early, and I'm sure that sort of emotion going into the game really did play out.
Well, you know a game's going to be fiery when at the opening bounce, Big Fish runs into Jimmy Steins and flattens him.
Oh, Salmon just charges straight into Steins, who's down.
I mean, that's fairly provocative stuff from a bloke like Fish, isn't it?
The most placid man in the world, the Big Fish, and I remember that vividly. I was sitting on the wing waiting to come in off the wing, and he just smashed into Jimmy Steins. He's never done that before in his life. But we had a lot to play for as well. It wasn't just the merger, it was a chance to play finals that year. So there's a double-edged sword for us.
Can I get back to the merger? Why was it going to happen?
Still not sure. I was 19, had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, and look, and from my point of view, I was quite protective from as well. You had Gary Lyon at the top of the tree as
organising the merger
club, and Jimmy Steins and organising those things. But that game, I guess, in a lot of ways, when you look at it now, look at it as it moves forward. For Hawthorn, it was a great unifying moment, and for Melbourne, there was still a few years to go of uncertainty.
Well, for us, as I said, it was more about winning so we could have a chance to play finals. But the build-up all week at training, thousands of people coming to training because it possibly might have been the last game as the Hawthorn Footy Club. So it was a huge emotional game for our supporters and our staff as well that had been there for a long time, let alone the players like Dunstall and Langford and Platten that had been there for so long and won premierships as Hawthorn players. That was going to end then. It was a massive occasion.
A great night for footy. Well, certainly up here it is. Neil Kearney, good evening.
Good evening, Peter. No, certainly has good conditions down here. The centre square area is quite firm. Matter for them coming. Should be very interesting. Could be a big one, this one.
Finey and Crawford getting into it. Thanks, Curls. Ian Robertson, good evening.
I like the spirit there. I think Melbourne have got a chance in this game, Peter, of upsetting the apple cart.
No love lost between that player. Crawford gets dicked.
It's amazing the umpires haven't stopped that and given a free kick.
Oh, Salmon just charges straight into Steins, who's down. And so too is Hopgood.
Look, his blood too. Blood just pouring out of Salmon's mouth. Oh, he's gone on with it though, which is good.
Love it. Gets a quick kick. Jenky was there. Langford comes charging out at it. And keeps charging at it. Taylor, a quick kick. mark just inside the boundary line. I think umpire says OK. Holland.
We're seeing just how fine a line it is in the psychological build-up of a player before a game here.
Back to Taylor and the Hawks out of danger. Hawthorn must win if they're going to take part in the 8. But Melbourne might have something to say about it. Obst, dual premiership player with Port Adelaide. Steins, what a clash that was at the centre bounce. Obst again, bad hand pass, might let the Hawks in. They're fighting each other. Viney nearly holding the ball. Crowd says ball. The umpire says let it go. Keep playing, boys. Farmer, he kicked 5 last week. Platten, oh, it gets poleaxed.
It's been a red-hot opening to this game. Platten's kick into the right half-forward area. Pritchard, short pass, very good. Dunstall. You'd have to think that Jason Dunstall could kick the first goal from this situation. He kicks, and he does get the first goal of the game.
Yes, they had a nice old dish up before the ball was even bounced. Flipped up by Irving. Hawks again get clear. Kapler will get onto his left foot. Holland underneath it, gets taken out of the contest. Umpire says it's okay. Kowal tried to spin out of trouble and then spun into trouble. Irving a chance to go off the ground, a little bit too slow, the big fellow. And it's going to be a ball up inside 50. Still a lot of feeling out there, isn't there?
Oh, very important. I mean, the build-up during the weeks has been quite incredible for these two sides, and it wouldn't have taken too much in the rooms to lift the players up to a level that they would have exploded as they hit the ground, and I think some players have overstepped that mark.
Platten and Clarkson. Now Kowal, snap across his body, Neitz, Langford too high. You were a bit worried about that, weren't you? So for his 51st of the year, Melbourne's first for the night, if he's accurate, and he is. These get there first. The well-bandaged Stephen Febey. Only played a handful of games this year. Goes wide towards the outer side. Woods is there, but a bit late on the scene. Beck, right half back. Spoke about him just a few moments back. Norman, good stretch. Liked his game last week too. Certainly gave the D something. He runs very straight at the footy.
I think the story has it that he's pretty good at one of the martial arts, Luke Norman. He's built like a proverbial brick
shipyard
outhouse. And the ball finishes with Jimmy Steins. Now Matthew Febey. He's kicked the half forward. Well done. So David Neitz, as like Jason Dunstall, going for his second shot at goal early in this match from about 50 metres. Gee, it's a good kick. It is a beauty. It's another goal to Neitz. Well, this is Ray Jenke. He's been a great servant of the Hawthorn Football Club. He's kicked towards centre-half-back Goodbar. Terrific mark taken by Salmon. Irving frustrated. Salmon the hand pass away. Pritchard in support. He kicks in towards centre half forward. From behind, the punch away by Norman. Knock on by Steins. Well, was that a disguised knock on? Uze from Matthew Febey. Uze's kick is a beauty again. I don't know what it is about left footers, but gee, when they kick the ball nicely like that and stick it right in front of the forward, it just looks such a polished performance. As such. So kicking for his third from about 30 metres out. It's a good kick. It looks okay. No.
2 kicks. 3 kicks, 2 goals, 1. So the Hawks move it up towards midfield. Salmon takes the grab in front of Irving. Centres it to Lawrence. Great battle with Everett last week. 2-on-2 situation. Crawford robes it beautifully. 25 metres out. Kicks and puts it through.
So scores a level. 2-2 apiece. Neitz 2 goals for Melbourne. 1 each for Hawthorn to Crawford and Dunstall. Condon Wide hand pass to Trelevant. Condon's down behind play. Gets up quickly. Punched away by Norman. Taylor there for the Hawks. Dragged away from the footy. Down goes Chick. And the umpire sees that as all clear and gives the okay for a throw-in. There'd probably be over 50, nearly 60,000 people here, I'd reckon, Peter. This is Harford. He's kicking towards Dunstall. He's got it. And that is going to be the problem for Melbourne. Jason Dunstall's ability to take one grab marks on the forward line. He's not happy with the pressure applied by Lamprell after he hit the ground.
No, he definitely wasn't happy. Kicking's let him down a little bit in recent contests. One day kick 0-5. And he's hit.
Good work from David Howlett there. He was able to pull it back when no advantage was on.
Gee, good pressure out there. There's a few mistakes being made. Collins in front. Couldn't complete the mark. Uze's kick is smothered. Platten. Langford. Well up the ground at right half back. The Hawk veteran. Graham got a hand to it. O'Brien again. No, it's not. It's Obbs takes it down there from Nettlebeck. Kick comes up towards midfield. Clarkson. Viney. Matthew Febey. They're working it around well. Norman to Steins. Usually constructive. Brett Lovett provides a shepherd. Then he gets the hand pass from the Irishman. Centering kick. Farmer. Good pace in front of Collins. Plays on directly. Just on 15. Long bomb by Collins. Neitz and Langford. Mark or behind?
It's a mark.
It's a behind. Well,
where are the Crummers? It's Obst for Melbourne. Gets onto his left foot, hooks it back in towards the centre. It's a good kick in the finish. Sets it up for Steins. Little kick by Jimmy. Look at that clever way he does that. Uze with the footy. Uze in the direction of Neitz and Langford. Langford.
Free kick.
Well, I thought that was a very good even contest, Terry. Well, he didn't do too much protesting as David Howlett lined David Neitz up for goal. And Neitz capitalises and kicks his third goal.
5 points the difference in favour of the D's. Closing stages of the first quarter. And they go into attack again, up towards 50. Farmer taken out of it by Collins. Platten barges way through. Off the ground, Pritchard. Obst. One step, kicks up towards centre half forward. Farmer. Explosive speed, kicks it goal. It's bouncing. And
a goal.
One behind, or is it a goal? It's there. Melbourne on fire.
He's a cheeky little character, isn't he? Jeffrey Farmer. He's kicked his first goal for the night. Melbourne try to get clear through Clarkson. Crawford nearly dispossessed by Matthew Febey. Kicked by Trelevant, smothered. Clarkson gets it to O'Brien. O'Brien played pretty well last week. Kicking towards full forward, taken by Neitz. Before tonight, he kicked 50 goals. So going for his 54th goal for the season. He's kicked pretty well so far, and he's kicked his fourth goal.
He'll be too far out to score. Centering kick from the Rat, but didn't do it well. Norman to Viney. Viney finds Leon Sally, who marks in front of Kapler. Just up from the back pocket. But against Pritchard there, the umpire let it go. Clean pick-up in the end by the Hawk. Long, the short to the long of it was Lawrence.
Melbourne had gone there 16 times, and this is only, I think, the 10th or 11th time that Hawthorn have been in there.
So Condon, badly needed one for the Hawks. If he can kick it, and he does. Start of the second quarter, 11 points in Melbourne's favour. Neitz kicked 4 in the opening term. Condon got one. Good hand pass. Kapler. Now Woods from Holland. Tony Woods. Kicks to Dunstall, who marks. It's 4-1 at the moment. Dunstall kicks. Oh, that is a great goal. That's the spot to kick them from, obviously. Salmon and Steins. Clarkson and Platten. Viney. Lost it in the tackle, picked up by Obst. His kick is to half forward. Punched away by Pritchard. Steins is there. Farmer.
Clarkson after the hand pass came from Treleaven.
Behind the piece of play and find a spot in the forward line to receive a short kick.
So Febey from 40. He's got the goal. Pretty straight kick. It's a beauty.
Yeah, good call, Curls. It was unfortunately looked quite obvious there in front of Luke Norman.
Free kick has been picked out here, and it's going to Crawford. Probably very much a fancied candidate for Hawthorn's best and fairest with Paul Salmon. Shane Crawford, that's a good mark, taken by Woods. His immediate opponent, Glenn Lovett, not able to spoil. But Tony Woods, awkward kicking style, he's too far out to score. He kicks in the direction of Dunstall. Oh, beauty! Because he is an important player. But the important play here is Dunstall's third goal.
From a West Coast Eagle, Steins has the height and the mark, you would reckon. Has he played it? Surely, yes.
Be a mark.
The Irishman's disposal usually pretty good, but not so on that occasion. Let himself and Melbourne down. Harford comes away with the footy. Around the wing, took a specky in the first quarter. That's beautifully delivered. On the end of it is Holland. Norwich Rising Star winner from last year. Nick Holland from left half forward. Into the goal square. Dunstall territory. Free kick. Well, Dunstall has the kick. Platten and Clarkson again. Johnny Platten showed us right from the first bounce what his target was tonight. Straight at the footy. Taylor missed it. Matthew Febey didn't. Off the ground. O'Brien lost it. Matthew Febey again off. Well done, Dees. Kick towards half forward. On the leaders, Neitz. He's kicked 4. As I mentioned, all in the first quarter. He'll be kicking from 55, but that's not a problem for him. It's a great long kick, as that one is. He's got the distance, but just off the hands of the pack.
Good close tussle. Cheeky short kick has been marked by Treleaven. Great to see him back. He suffered a very heavy knock a couple of weeks ago, which was a bit questionable when they played North Melbourne. And he's back into the fray, and he gets a second kick in that passenger plate. Well done by Crawford. He had to have known there was someone coming from behind. They're both lying on the ground still. Taylor dispossessed. Nettlebeck. Crawford might be in a bit of strife. We'll keep an eye on that.
He's out cold.
The kick is out of bounds on the full. I think he may have, if there's damage, it'll be in the kidney area. It was a heavy clash.
Yeah, I think it's more the hip of Ops there that makes the contact in the kidney region, as you mentioned there, Robert.
Holland gets it away. McCabe is on the ground. The kick in the direction of Graham, taken away by Stephen Febey.
Back into some form for Hawthorn. Had a lean trot.
Well done.
For quite a while. Good vision, finding Harford. Great mark in the first quarter. And then under pressure played on and got caught. That's a strong grab. Dunstall over Glenn Lovett takes the mark.
You give him credit for being an experienced
he knows the caper. This man knows the caper.
For number 5, and he has got it. 5 goals too, Jason Dunstall.
He reciprocates with a great lead.
7 minutes left in the term. Salmon again. Crawford back to Salmon, leading by example. Kick finds Dunstall again. Brilliant football by Hawthorn. Going for goal number 97 for the year. He's got it. 6 for the game. On fairly regular occasions. 13 points is the margin in favour of Hawthorn. Steins to the front. Brilliant tap by Harford. Found Taylor. Taylor's kick. Nettlebeck. Oh, Holland, great mark. So he's lining up from about 30 metres. He should kick the distance. And he finishes it very, very nicely. When they get it across half-back, they just got no one moving. There's no space. Hawks are blocking them out beautifully.
Uze, Lawrence will punch from behind. Taylor, who's roving well to his look-alike in Harford. Harford bombs it long towards centre wing. Holland again. Not a spectacular mark this time, but he'll put the Hawks into attack.
Well, it just keeps coming back from Melbourne's half-forward line. Maybe they might have to rob Peter to pay Paul and bring Neitz out of it. Kick forward by Graham. Close to the line, Dunstall. He is just playing one great game, Jason Dunstall. What's that? That's Dunstall has kicked the goal. So 7 goals in the game.
Every sign that he might be able to repeat that here tonight.
66-41. Viney thrown to the ground by Salmon. Brett Lovett picks up the crumbs. Lawrence punches away from Irving. Still got it. Hand passes to Platten. Platten from Sampson, who's on the ground. And Taylor outmarked decisively down there by Darren Kowal, who had the front posse. One-on-one duel at centre wing. Well, that will be against McCabe, you would reckon, to Irving. Too high. The umpire says no. Kick comes down towards half forward. Farmer, can he give him something? He's a little bit too quick for Collins. This way, that way. Goes back again. Centering kick from Farmer. Great footy. And the mark taken by Clarkson.
Clarkson really in the right spot there, right in front of goal, only some 25 metres out.
Alastair Clarkson for his first and a valuable one for the Demons. He's kicked and he's kicked a goal. We had fireworks to start the first term. What's going to happen at the start of the third? Hawthorn by 19 points. Salmon's been brilliant. Steins beats him this time. Kapler runs into Steins, nearly caught with the football. It's a stalemate according to the umpire, and he'll bounce it again. 6 kicks, 4 marks.
Wood's doing a pretty good job because he's a prolific possession gatherer, Glenn Lovett.
Lawrence should punch and does, gets it away. No, he doesn't get it away from Irving. Can he kick another one? Uze in the box seat and marks. So Melbourne a chance for another goal. Hawthorn kicked, I think it was 5 unanswered goals in the second quarter. Melbourne may be able to get a string together 3 on the trot. If he can kick this, distance shouldn't be a problem from there. He's well inside 50. Kick straight and accurate and goals. So the D's fight back. 1 goal in the contest now. Melbourne had a good first quarter, so as you said, try to pick a winner. Steins punches. Uze again. Farmer. 50. Oh, sure to be 50. Back that in. No. Oh, we all thought. Goal here would put Melbourne in front. He runs around. He kicks. The D's are back in front.
And it happens around the centre bounce. Those midfielders are also important. They were feeding Dunstall in the second term. Hawks probably haven't got much of the footy so far in this third term. Clarkson has. He's had plenty of it. He's kicked forward. Neitz and Langford. Farmer goes back to Kowal. He's a neat kick, Darren Kowal. He kicks it, disciplined. For Neitz, he couldn't take the mark. McCabe is back there for the Hawks. He runs away from the full back line. After 1 bounce, he kicks out close to the wing. It's a 2-on-1. It favours the Demons. Brett Lovett will pump it back. The pass is good. And the exciting Jeffrey Farmer is marked on his chest, and he's giving Andrew Collins some thoughts of concern down there. Andrew Collins is about 42 metres from goal. He'll have to kick at 45 metres plus to score. Runs close to the man on the mark. Kicks it long and kicks it magnificently. 3 goals to Jeffrey Farmer.
Melbourne absolutely on fire. Platten and Clarkson being spoken to by David Howard.
They've been at it all night, those two.
David Howard, you may remember, the man that gave Jimmy Steins the 15-metre penalty way back in 87. Holland steamroll.
Playing as if there's no tomorrow at all.
Well, there may not be. Taylor. No tomorrow for Hawthorn this year. If they lose today, the Tigers would breathe easily. Kick not particularly good. Lample, good tackle. Wasn't a good tackle. Hudson's going to get the
free kick. He was lucky to get that. That was a very soft free kick.
Hudson would love to lift. Dunstall has to beat 2. Norman and Viney. He may still do that to Woods. Woods with a bomb into the goal square. Harford at the back. And it is rushed over the line by the Demon defence. Steins to Clarkson. Playing with plenty of passion, the D's. Love it. Stephen Febey, well, they're messing around here. They're bothering nobody except the statistician. Steins now, whose disposal usually pretty good. Uze in front of McCabe takes the mark, short of left centre wing.
I think it's important that they've kept possession. Sometimes they lose possession and the opposition can go straight down and get a goal, but their efforts there haven't been too bad.
That's a good kick, good mark. Irving, well, he's lifted in the third quarter, so is the whole Melbourne side.
From the kick in, Hawthorn haven't touched it, Peter, and
No,
Melbourne will nearly have a shot for
You're
goal.
right. They will. Farmer. Great marks up.
They haven't touched it, the Hawks, have they?
6 unanswered goals if he kicks this. Barry Gavin having a word there to, I think it was Daniel Harford in picture. Farmer should kick it and does. 6 on the trot for the D's. Farmer's got 4. Look as though the whole side had been hit across the head with a spade. Steins, well, he's certainly lifted. He's had the better of Salmon in this quarter, and the old fish gave him a nice old bath in the second. Harford. Dunst. Oh, gets poleaxed. Hawthorn hasn't scored a goal this quarter, just one rush behind. So they really do need this, the Hawks. He kicks from 45 metres, the captain, and he's got the goal. 99 for the year.
Boundary throw in, left forward pocket for Melbourne. Treleaven down by O'Brien. Jenke. Harford over the top. Away goes Kapler, the racehorse. One bounce, he can go the length of the ground here. He looks as though he's trying to get back onto his left. He does. Kicks in towards full forward. Dunstall! Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant bodywork. Well, all of a sudden, in all the aisles, Peter, you can see the people streaming down to get close to the fence. Here he goes. It is an anti-climax. It's across the face.
Melbourne's quarter, the D's by 3 points, 4 minutes left.
The kick into the far side is okay, and the mark is taken out there by Lamprill. He plays on quickly, gets it to Gasper. Hand pass, pretty good. Brett Lovett is right on the defensive 50-metre line, and then he kicks it out towards right half forward. From behind, good mark taken by Holland.
That's 50.
8 marks to Nick Holland. He's going to have to kick a 50-metre plus to score. He fancies himself, I guess. Why not? And he gets onto it too. Terrific distance. It's a goal. Great kick by Holland. So Nick Holland's second goal gets the lead back for Hawthorn. 12-10 to 12-7.
Couldn't have come at a better time for the Hawks. Peter Russo, former Hawk, sits there with Neil Baum. Hawthorn in front by 3 points, and there he is again. Holland up towards half forward. This is as far as they're going. Love it to Sampson at left half back. Febey, was it? Thanks, Robert. This is Matthew Febey. Sampson. Steins having a great battle with Paul Salmon. They both had certain influences on the game in different quarters. This guy's having his best quarter of the game. That's Dean Irving.
Moving around and giving them something to fire at.
Especially the first few minutes. He really did move around, took a few marks, livened things up. It's touched, rushed through from behind with the D's. So still less than a kick in it. Hawthorn 82, Melbourne 80.
You know, so they've been able to come in long and consequently also allow a little bit of freedom for David Neitz in the forward line.
Gee, that was barely the required distance.
Oh, look at this.
Work it around to Kapler, who marks in front of Andrew Leoncelli. Former Swan. Up towards centre wing. Well, Holland again. Wasn't allowed the mark, but if Neitz wasn't allowed, that one certainly shouldn't have been. Irving. A little give. Crawford a chance. Taylor, who's been useful. Irving, good hip and shoulder. Platt, had to get rid of it quickly. Biney, Kowal. Now Febey, Stephen Febey kicks it straight to Nick Holland. Hudson with Lamprill. Graham, not a good hand pass for the Rat. Platt nearly caught, drops the footy, holding the ball.
Good tackle in by Lamprill.
Andrew Lamprill in the left back pocket for Melbourne.
Well, they're under siege, weren't they? Kick by Lamprell in towards centre-half back. Mark has been taken by Todd Viney. Viney's kick. Good. Kowal, Mark Graham minding the mark. Kowal looking to play on, does so. Short. And it's taken by Stephen Febey. Johnny Platten minding the mark. Febey goes in towards centre-half back. They try to transfer play to the far side of the ground. I thought Todd Viney was going to go for a kick, but his hand pass goes to Gasper. Long striding, long kicking, and finds Glenn Lovett. Glenn Lovett is probably 80 metres from goal. And he's going to kick it long into the pocket. Neitz got rid of Langford, couldn't hold on to it. It's always very frustrating. I mean, you get the situation where the opponent is always with you, and then all of a sudden you get a little bit of space, drop the mark, and David Neitz just a little disappointed there. Irving and Lawrence. Lawrence from behind. Chick. Now Treleaven. Intercepted. This is O'Brien for Melbourne. His kick into the pocket again. Langford blocks the ball nicely. Collins there to help him out. Well done, Andrew Collins. Kick in towards the centre of the ground. It's taken by Holland. They can move it quickly. They might find the Demon defence out of position. A high kick at the back. Graham couldn't take the mark. Gathered by Hudson. He's just totally out of sorts, Paul Hudson. And that is the siren to end the third quarter.
Welcome back to our footy flashback to round 22, 1996, where at three-quarter time, it's the Hawks enjoying a slender 2-point lead over the Spirited D's. Let's hear again from Neil Kearney, who's with Daniel Harford and David Neitz.
Well, it was a massive game for both of you. There were some fantastic clashes. Can I ask you about a couple of blokes that seem to be very prominent? Alastair Clarkson, the current Hawthorn coach. Was he the mouthiest player ever to play football?
Never met a better one.
Yeah.
Never met one.
Yeah, as a teammate, at that time, he was unbelievable. He was fantastic for our group, but he did know how to get under people's skin. There's no doubt about that. And
including
he's still doing it now.
He's brilliant at it, wasn't he?
Just relentless. Like John Platten, he was at John Platten for the entire game. Every stoppage, every time they went near the ball, he was just at him. It was just relentless. Great stuff.
Now, you've played a lot of football for Hawthorn. Chris Langford, greatest fullback of the club.
Yep.
One of the best in history of the game. What happened to him on that day? First quarter.
He was on toast. He had him on toast, the big fella. And,
just to slip the umpires a couple of dollars before the game and got a couple of nice little free kicks there. But no, it was great. It was for a young guy to go and play against a legend of the game. Chris Langford was always a huge challenge and a huge honour. And to sneak a couple of goals on him was fantastic.
Got a cheap one.
Did get a cheat one. There's no doubt about that. It was a lot of holding and things like that though behind the scenes. A bit of experience from Chris, but no, look, it was great to have that battle, and there was just so many battles all over the ground. So
the game turned out to be a shootout, didn't it? You at one end kicking 4 goals in the first quarter, and who was the bloke full forward for Hawthorn?
Dunstall, was it? Might have been Jason Dunstall. It was.
Kicked 6 in the second quarter.
Yeah. He started off really well. Had 3 shots in the first quarter, kicked 1 goal too. I thought, he might be a little bit off tonight, but he's come out in the second quarter and gone berserk. Absolutely berserk. I think we kicked 7 for the quarter. I think he kicked 6 of them.
Yeah.
And he needed 9 for his 100 before the game. So at half time he's got 7. We're thinking, hey, what's this? We'll get the big fella his 100.
Into the goal square. Dunstall territory. Free kick. This time Dunstall. Dunstall has the kick.
We might see him kick his 100th goal for the season here tonight. He's got 95 now.
You're a nervous little 19-year-old playing alongside Jason Dunstall. Would he offer you words of encouragement before the game, that sort of stuff?
No, he wouldn't say like the great Jason. No, you had to
say anything.
Had to earn your stripes. No, he'd walk around and he'd grunt every now and then, as he would do, and he'd chat to a few of the guys that he played in the flags with. But you had to earn your stripes with Jason, and to a degree, you respected him for that, because you had to find your feet at the level before he thought you were welcome into the team. So it was interesting.
Uze again. Farmer. 50. Goal here would put Melbourne in front. He runs around. He kicks.
We had a young Jeff Farmer coming through and playing in that game, who fired up for a while there in the third quarter, and a young Adem with a terrible haircut. We had some. When you look at the side and Febe's running around, we actually had some really good players, and that was the interesting thing, I guess, with that whole merger, that we had these really good players around and that could play some good footy, and yet, couldn't. Here we are thinking it's going to be all over at the end of the game.
Well, three-quarter time, the Hawks are up by 2 points. It was one of those games just wondering how you're going to run out the last quarter. But for us, thank you both. We'll come back and have a talk about it after the game. But now let's have a look at the last quarter of the last round of 1996, the Hawks and the Demons.
The final quarter, is it the final quarter for both teams as individual performers? The Hawks can still make the finals if they win, and if Richmond get beaten tomorrow. They've got to win first. Love it. Melbourne's certainly been the better side since half-time. Jenke got two hands to it, couldn't complete the mark. Neitz had it, lost it. Langford tackle. Oh, it's taken too high. Nothing for it. Lawrence. Langford's out cold. He got one right in the mouth. Kapler. A little give. Oh, Steins has laid out another player. There's two of them down. 16 to go. Hudson a chance. Febey out of bounds in front of Hudson.
Gee, Harford's a right collarbone there. Really was just on the receive. Steins did it all perfect. Langford's up now. He cops one here from O'Brien, coming through hard. There's a lot at stake in this last 25 minutes of football.
Like the start of the game, isn't it? Red hot at the start.
Yes, there was. So the umpies will be busy with their VHSs after the match, I'd reckon. O'Brien overruns it. Chance for the Hawks. Harford. Oh, he gets collected again. Clarkson this time. And again, he's gone down a third time from Sampson.
Like a cork in the ocean.
Well, that's taken. Kowal to Lovett. Lamprell. Clarkson. On his own defensive 50 takes the mark.
Another Hawthorn player back near the 50-metre line in trouble in the hands of the trainers. The kick into half-back, Brett Lovett, who's played a pretty good game. Handball away to Kowal. Running straight down the MCG. He's had 3 bounces, Darren Kowal. He's had 4. You go in the direction of Jeffrey Farmer, the excitement machine. But Collins has got him. Handball. Back to Kowal. Snapshot by Kowal. It's going to bounce through for a goal if there's no free kick. It's a goal.
D's in front.
Darren Kowal's first goal for the game gives the lead to the Demons.
Crummell has come on to replace Graham, who's got off the ground injured. He was the player in the hands of the traders. Crawford to Woods. Hawthorn needs something to happen. Taylor. Dunstall. No. No free kick either. No. Kick away by Gasper. Up to McCabe at centre wing. Ball bounces kindly for him. McCabe goes in short. Kicks towards right half forward. Holland. 12 marks, I think, to Holland tonight. It's Taylor. Centering kick. Salmon the target. Badly directed, though. Straight to Lovett. Nettlebeck. Now it's O'Brien. Right out towards right half forward. Well, Melbourne chopping Hawthorn up around the ground at the moment. Irving. Neitz. Great mark. Not going to play that, is he?
He's been given the free kick, Pete.
Well, I should have got the mark. He
should have got the mark, yeah. Right position again.
He had one taken off him in the third quarter, which we thought was a mark. He held it long enough.
As you can see there, where Chris Langford was put out of position, grabbed hold of the jumper, held on, then let go, but the umpire was Chris Mitchell right in the correct spot to be able to see that one.
He gave away a similar one in the first quarter when Neitz kicked one of his 4 goals. He hasn't got one since, but you would reckon from here that if he kicks this goal, it will bring the house down at the G. Hit the post. 4-3 to David Neitz. And the difference is 5 points. We've got 16.5 minutes left in this match. And what a match it's been. Certainly not the dancing with your sister syndrome, is it?
It'd be interesting if Jason Dunstall's 100th goal gave Hawthorn a victory.
Yeah, on the siren.
What a finale.
Is that the script? So Jenky kicks in. That's a good long ball. Holland down to McCabe. McCabe boot the ball quickly. They need a mark here, Hawthorn. Almost to Crummel. The ball paddled up outside 50, Platten off the ground.
Oh, ridden into the ground there. It was Lample by Hudson. And Lample will take the free kick. Paul Hudson has just had a very, very ordinary night, hasn't he, by anyone's terms. Todd Viney with the football. Kicks it down towards the half-back area. Gathered by Steins, but chopped off by Harford. He backs himself. He's an improved player, particularly under the coaching of Judge. Down to the ground. Pritchard, hand pass, missed its target. Gasper tackled by Chick. Ball spills for Viney, and I don't know whether that was disguised all that well either. But Todd Viney given the benefit of the doubt. And the boundary umpire will throw it in.
Hudson coming off for a spell, Robbo, and it hasn't been a good night for Paul Hudson whatsoever.
Just 4 kicks, Terry. Very much a crunch situation now for the Hawks. Pritchard's kick to the goal front. Captain Dunstall couldn't get it. Knocked away. Brett Lovett quite prepared to give away behind. I don't know whether I would have done that, because this game is pretty tight, and any score is going to be important in the wash-up. Melbourne lead by 4 points.
Mark taken by Gasper. And to Kowal. On his bike and horse at half-back. 3 bounces. Steins against him, and the mark, or free kick rather, will be taken by Holland. No mark there. McCabe slung, decides to go on with it. There's a bit of a wrestle at the back. The advantage is paid, yes. Collins. Now Harford, who's clear from Clarkson. Platten on his own. Will keep going. Steve Febey comes at him. The Rat has a shot, but he's missed. Out of bounds on the floor. So poor work there. The finals aspirations of those men and the boys in brown and gold, well, they'll be decided in the next 14 minutes.
Gee, they were great players, but there's not much you can do now, is there, Terry? You just got to sit there and hope your boys do the right thing. All the disciplined stuff under pressure. On this occasion, a free kick to Melbourne to be taken by Clay Sampson, and he'll kick Melbourne to within scoring distance. Steins at the back, but punched away, only as far as Clarkson. And very skillfully throws it onto his left foot. Contest. Well, Farmer got his hands on it. Taken away by Collins. Can he set something up here? Andrew Collins. The kick is all right, and it's been marked by Graham. Graham, he spotted a player close to the centre of the ground. The kick is good, and it's been marked by Salmon. Salmon looking to move quickly. No one to kick to, though. He's got to come out to the wing. And on the wing, it's been marked by Trelevin. He looks to play on. Goes in short. That's okay as well. It's been taken by Pritchard. Pritchard looks for Dunstall up high. He's got it. Oh, second grab. Crawford will go in and kick a goal. He's got it. It's home. The Hawks are back in front.
Back in front by 2 points. Well, if they did merge, the players from both sides would make a pretty formidable unit next year, you'd reckon, judging by what they've given tonight. Clarkson snares it at left centre wing for Melbourne. Can he put the D's back in front? McCabe, tackled by Glenn Lovett. The ball's underneath him. Not holding the ball. It's going to be a ball up just outside 50. Left half forward flank for Melbourne. 12 and a half minutes remaining in the game. Hawthorn by 2 points.
Never do you see an umpire more on centre stage when a decision like that comes up. Everybody goes and looks at him and says, oh, please don't give the free kick against our side.
One scenario we haven't mentioned, but I suppose to be a possibility, be a draw. Matthew Febey has a snap, misses, has got one behind. Yes, he has. Kicked by Matt Febey.
When you consider, Pete, there's 1 point in it now and the lead has changed some 6 times. Well, yeah, a draw is quite possible.
It is a possibility, isn't it? Certainly at the moment. Lead being made down there by Chick. He's going to go the other way, though, Ray Jenky.
The draw won't be good enough. for
Hawthorn.
No, their percentage is about 20-something% inferior to Richmond's.
It's less than 100, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Glenn Lovett a chance. Jenky stands in his road, and then the road of Uze. Taken high and without the footy, Jenky will get the free kick. Ooh, it might be reversed. Farmer went down. I don't think the umpire was watching that. Not Farmer, Uze. That's the way the match started. Maybe it's going to finish that way as well. Gee, Hawthorn under pressure here. They finally work it around the members stand flank. Langford, a bit of experience there, gets it onto the youngster in McCabe.
McCabe looking for someone to give it off to. His kick nearly marked by Salmon, but it rebounds. Stephen Febey, have a look at this. Melbourne will go down the ground. Dean Irving kicks into the pocket, sets it up. Neitz couldn't take the mark. The Hawthorn defence in numbers. A free kick here. May go against David Neitz, to be taken by Stephen Lawrence. The umpire, Richard Williams, on that occasion declaring, and we have another look at...
Yes, Adem here. Throws a little bit of a headlock on. Colo comes back with one. And he's up and about now, Adem but Glenn Lovett went home and had a good word in Andy Collins' ear.
Gee, nearly BOG, Brett Lovett. He's been terrific across the half-back line, across the centre line. Oh, spills the mark, Dean Irving. And then lost the ball. Gathered by Chick, so the Hawks have the footy at least. High kick by Chick, back towards the centre. Marking contest. Stephen Febey stands his ground. In goes Holland. Gee, they're desperate, the Hawks. They can see the situation slipping away. They just have to lift. Kapler, his kick. Oh, brilliant football by Crawford. He taps it to his own advantage. Gathers, hand pass away. Looked for Platten. Kowal grab, didn't have it. Salmon's handball. Back to Crawford. Dunstall. Can't quite gather. Gaspar. Now Dunstall. Got the ball and tripped by Lamprell. Demon fans down here will jump the fence in protest in a minute.
But the free kick was... Dunstall was just great. He just stayed on that ball all the way through the contest.
Look at this.
It's going to be his...
Here they come down now to watch Dunstall kick his 100th goal again. What hope. Now, there's people everywhere inside the boundary line. This is a bigger army than you ever saw in the desert.
The longest day.
Hey?
Might be the longest day yet, but the longest night.
They are everywhere.
Over the fence. How many here? 62,000. 50 going to come over the fence.
Yeah, but there's about 40,000 security staff. Dunstall, more importantly, goes for goal and he's got it. 100 goals to Jason Dunstall. Another sensational performance by the Hawthorn captain and champion forward. The crowd are just streaming onto the MCG, coming from every area of the Oval. They had absolutely no hope whatsoever.
Well,
They've given up.
and rightfully so. I just hope football is able to manage this situation, because it is a huge achievement in any man's football career. Dunstall 100 goals for the 6th time. He just keeps stepping up. He was a remarkable champion player.
So finally back to the centre after Jason Dunstall kicks his 100th goal. The Hawks have got a lead, but it's not a match-winning one. Good tackle by Matthew Febey, and the umpire will bounce it again. Crawford unable to get clear. Alastair Clarkson hands the ball back to the man in white. Going to pump up the players.
No, I think he's indicating there might have been a couple of little
short
unnecessary jabs there, Peter.
Salmon from Steins. Crawford missed it. Viney, Academy Award performance. Woods kicks out to Holland, who had a brilliant third quarter. Is he out of bounds? Holding the ball, says the Melbourne fans. And O'Brien has a few words to the umpire as well. But it's going to be a throw-in on centre wing.
You wonder why that wasn't a free kick too. I mean, he's caught red-handed and he doesn't immediately get rid of the ball. And Melbourne fans screaming for a free kick. Boundary throw-in, Holland in front. Nearly taken by Glenn Lovett, but Nick Holland's kick will land the ball inside 50 metres for the Hawks. Stephen Febey. Now Darren Kowal, close to the line. Very important that they take a mark, because the Crummers are going to be the Hawks. Trelevin, little kick, close to the centre. Mark taken by Graham. looks to play on. Didn't run to the side, so allowed to go back and take his kick. He kicks in the direction of Dunstall. He's in front. He's got it again. Now that is Adem-like, that mark. Just in front, absolutely hopeless position there for Luke Norman, because Dunstall is a strong player in his own right.
He is. Norman's a strong boy, but Dunstall's proven here to be more experienced and perhaps even stronger there. Just the way in which he was able to plant his feet firmly on the ground, there was no way he was going to be moved.
Well, this is probably the easiest shot he's had so far, and it's straight through the centre for goal number 10. Jason Dunstall, 10 goals, 3, and the Hawks kick away with 8 minutes left. They lead by 13 points.
Well, I think the signs are there now that Hawthorn will start to run away with the game. They'll pick up a couple of goals here. Dunstall's accuracy over the year has been quite incredible. It's 101 goals, 41, and that's not a bad return. So all Hawthorn really are about is getting it down to this man as often as they can, and he'll do the rest of the job for them.
1,178 career goals for Dunstall, 10 tonight, 101 to 88 the scoreboard in the Hawks' favour, and there's a centre square infringement. It's going Hawthorn's way, and it will be taken by Paul Salmon.
I think we'll see the experience just starting to come to the top of the game now.
Kapler to half forward, Holland the target, couldn't quite drag it in. Gasper, not a great hand pass. Crummel, Holland, and kicks it behind.
A bad kick under pressure. That would have got about 40 metres. It was actually hooking around all the time.
Official attendance tonight just gone up on the board, 63,000 plus. Love it. He's played a great game, hasn't he? This is Matthew Febey. Steins and Holland. Steins, good use of the body, worked his opponent out of it. Intercepting there is Treleaven. The Hawks get another chance. They might be able to really make the Demons pay. Graham from centre half back to centre half forward. Dunstall, not this time. He's got 10. Can he get 11? Gets the hand pass to Chick. Will it bounce through? It won't bounce through. Platten now still in play.
Oh, well done.
And the Rat looks for a free kick. Love it, ridden into the ground. Platten's there. The Demons under pressure. Pritchard snaps. Misses. Still the ball is in play. Matthew Febey, the two Febeys combining. Matthew's kick up towards centre wing. And Steins, the Brownlow medalist, goes inboard onto O'Brien. O'Brien to Glenn Lovett, who marks in front of Woods. Melbourne must get a goal from this forward thrust. Glenn Lovett's kick. Neitz! Yes, what a grab! Sensational mark. What a match. And it's not over yet, folks. 6 minutes to go. Neitz hasn't got a goal since the first quarter.
Well, he's their target in the forward line. He doesn't let them down there. A great jump there over the top of Holland, and with the pressure from Langford behind.
Like that one of Michael Roach's years ago, that one. Also against Hawthorn. Neitz for his 5th. He kicks, and he has goal. Plenty of footy left in the match yet.
So Melbourne not done with yet. Salmon doing the ruck work, gathered by Matthew Febey, and he strides through the centre and kicks with a lot of penetration into the forward line to put the Hawthorn defence under pressure. Langford and Neitz, well done Langford. Neitz's kick finishes with Irving, but a free kick will go to the Melbourne full forward. An illegal tackle deemed by the umpire against Chris Langford. Well, the fans are on their feet. They've had a terrific contest here between these two, well, you'd have to say, fairly well traditional rivals. They were great combatants when Hawthorn were doing well and winning premierships. Melbourne certainly played well against them. This is Clarkson. Jimmy Steins providing the lead. What's happening?
Someone just threw something over the fence, and Alastair Clarkson wanted to ensure that it was out of the way for the game.
Again, important possessions to Clarkson. 17 kicks and 6 handballs. He kicks for goal. He hooks it a little bit. He does score, but it's just a behind. 1 goal, 1 for Clarkson. So the margin is just 7 points. Neil Baum. Again, on the other side of the ledger. Nothing much you can do. You just have to hope that all your instructions are obeyed to the letter, and the players have to do their best.
And then hope the instructions are right.
Salmon in front of Irving. Had a great first half, the Fish. Oh, they're going to get out of it. From Melbourne. Kicks to centre wing. They were outnumbered there. O'Brien did the good work initially. Can it be kept off down there by Gasper? Into the pocket. Yes, Neitz again.
Gee, we've been treated, haven't we? With Jason Dunstall's 10 and David Neitz coming up for goal number 6.
If he kicks this, it'll be a point the difference.
Well, it's been a great display from both full forwards, but equally as good has been the delivery of the players around the midfield, and in that situation, Gasper to the leading full forward.
David Neitz. He'll get the distance. Accuracy looks pretty good. Yes, it's a point the difference at the G. What a game.
What are you going to say now, Terry?
I'm just about run out. I'm really struggling.
Oh, dear, I tell you what, as soon as you put your reputation on the line in a game of football, don't they come back?
Well, yeah, my basis was I thought it should have been Hawthorn after Dunstall got the goal, because their experienced players would have been able to take a little bit of control, take the heat out of it. But what they've got to play against is the enthusiasm of Melbourne. And the young Melbourne players, they're really giving everything.
Well, the bounce favours Stones, and he'll get it down to Clarkson. Clarkson will pump it forward. Very awkward bounce. Good contest there between Irving and Lawrence. Comes back to Sampson. Kick by Sampson. May level the scores. It bounces close. Goes to the wrong side of the behind post, so it'll be a boundary throw in. So momentarily, the lead is still with Hawthorn. Jeffrey Farmer.
3.5 minutes left, Robbo.
Young man with an attitude, isn't he, Jeff?
He's just as likely to grab this and kick the goal and win the game for the D's. See the time left and the margin in favour of Hawthorn. They're playing for their season, the Hawks. Doesn't really mean all that much to Melbourne, although I'm sure they really want to win this game. It's back to the square. Harford doesn't even want to give away a behind here. Close to the line, it's knocked over there by Daniel Chick, and we'll have a boundary throw-in. So lots of pressure on all players on the field.
All of a sudden it's become a one-on-one game. You look around it, everyone has got their opponent right within grabbing distance.
Lawrence in front, taps it down. Trelevin, Clarkson, tackled by Chick, still got the ball. Alastair Clarkson. But the umpire will bounce about 48 metres from the Melbourne goal. Can they snatch victory, the Demons? Can Hawthorn hang on and at least give themselves some chance, bearing in mind that Richmond have to play North Melbourne tomorrow? He's been courageous, Harford. He was downed earlier in the game. He looked as though he's in all sorts of strife. He's got to his feet and playing the game out with tremendous will.
So still in Melbourne's right forward pocket, or between half forward flank and right forward pocket. They don't want to give away a free kick here, the Hawks. They're hanging on desperately. It's a little bit too early, though, to go defensive, you'd reckon.
I think they're just trying to hold them out.
Well, they are, but I mean, they don't know how much time is left, especially after the long delay. You know at home, because we've told you, and there it is on screen. And there's plenty happening in the Hawthorn coach's box. Lawrence goes for the boundary line, doesn't make it. Farmer just inside. Beautiful smother by Daniel Chick.
Oh, and they're wringing their hands, aren't they?
Well, they've wasted a minute now in this pocket. Now the umpire coming out here to just say something to Clarkson. It's Howlett. Wouldn't be the first time that he's spoken to Alastair tonight.
You know what, he gets 19 kicks, 11 marks and 6 handballs, but you don't credit those little stirring efforts, do you?
Febey nearly pinched it. Lawrence tries to barge his way through. Croucher's holding the ball. And really, it hasn't moved from about a 20-metre radius for about a minute and a half. So 2.5 minutes left, and still it's a point the difference. So if Melbourne could get a goal, you'd reckon they'd hang on. If Hawthorn could get a goal, they'll certainly win it. Oh, gee, Stein's nearly got a push in the back there. This is pretty untidy stuff, but it's pretty tough stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think they know the consequences, Peter. You know, it's amazing how the players, I mean, they went in knowing it. 2 hours later, they still know what's going on.
1 point the difference.
I mean, Melbourne really want to win the game. The Hawks, they're desperate to hang on. Jimmy Stein's working hard at close to the line. We're down under 2 minutes. I would just sense here that Melbourne can somehow just squeeze a kick that's really going to kill off Hawthorn's chances this year. Steins knocks it to the back. Viney! Oh, terrible kick. Probably Todd Viney's worst kick ever. Out of bounds on the full. Relief for the Hawks. Free kick in the left back pocket to be taken by Nick Holland. He's played very well. I think Neil Curley made mention at quarter time that he needed to lift, and have a look at his stats. They weren't all that impressive in the first quarter, so you can just about say that he's accumulated those statistics in 3 quarters of football. His kick at the back, Steins, Luke McCabe, tackle, goes after it again. Good stuff by McCabe. Handball over the top, and quite prepared to take it out. Off his knee was Ray Jenke. The Melbourne fans and the members screaming for a free kick. 1.5 minutes left. It's 2 kicks from Melbourne's goal, and they need good fortune and a lot of G&D. It comes to Glenn Lovett's feet. He couldn't take it away. Tony Woods, he can't break away. Stephen Febey over the top, appealing for the free kick. And the Hawks are hanging on grimly.
Grimly is the word. It's not pretty stuff, is it?
Ken Judge, John Kennedy, and the Hawthorn Football Club.
They've got the time up on the scoreboard here, so they know how much they've got left now. And so do the Melbourne players. This is their last throw of the dice. Clarkson, a grubber, intended for Glenn Lovett. Nettlebeck, Steins, Febey goes down. Harford goes for a run. 1 bounce. Shepherded down there. Chick. Melbourne needs to take him up. 45 seconds to go. O'Brien. This is their last throw. Up towards full forward. For brilliant. 50-metre punch. Kowal and Crawford. McCabe. Nearly caught. Kapler and Uze. Melbourne with the numbers now. 22 seconds. Holland takes the mark. Stand there for a week's up. 12 seconds. He doesn't want to take too long. They'll take it off him. 8 seconds. Umpire's telling him to kick it.
They're home.
He better kick it.
They're home.
There's the siren. Ovation in the Hawthorn box. And again in a thriller, Hawthorn have triumphed over Melbourne in a finals atmosphere here at the MCG before 60,000 plus.
That was a great win. A great win. They had everything thrown at them by Melbourne. I mean,
Great game of footy.
Melbourne's spirit, their character, everything was terrific, and Hawthorn came out on top. That is a great win.
Well, what a match.
Well done. That's terrific too. I think Neil Barr is a great bloke. A terrific bloke. Good coach, obviously.
Well, the Hawks by a point, and they're into the finals. Daniel Harford, David Neitz. That was a fantastic game of footy, wasn't it?
It could have been better, but it was. I've still got some vivid memories of just stumbling at the last 30 seconds of the game. Still pains me, but when you think about it, it was a great classic battle.
We had a great time.
You could have almost won the game. You got them to within 8 points, and you got them within 1 point. I mean, it was a fantastic couple of goals that last.
He's blaming you. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
Another one would have been nice.
I've been told that for quite a while, but yeah, look, it was good to to actually get off the ground. I didn't get off the ground that often, so to actually elevate and take a semi. I don't know whether it's a real hang, but if you actually probably measured, I actually only got about that high off the ground. But I'll claim it.
What's it like looking back when you're 21 and you had hair?
My girlfriend loved it when she watched the replay. Me with hair.
I'm laughing with you, not at you, by the way.
No, that's all right. And that clearing dash of yours in the last quarter, we'll show that again in slow motion a couple of times from a few different angles. But you had a great game.
I was just happy to get a kick at that stage. Probably about my 30th game of league footy it was, but I got into the game in the last half, which was great. I got smashed by Jimmy Steins early in the last quarter and did my AC, and it just kept playing. The adrenaline was going, so I just wanted to finish the game. It was such a momentous occasion for our footy club and for us to get through to the finals, so I just had to get out there.
Can I take you back to when Jason Dunstall's going for his 100th goal, and he attacks the ball, and there's 4 Melbourne blokes in his vicinity, and they all seem to kind of move, not through fear, but just because Jason Dunstall was coming through. Was he the most imposing, one of the most imposing blokes that ever played the game of footy?
At that time, he certainly was. I mean, Gary Ablett's the other one you'd put in that boat.
And Big Plugger Lockett was fairly imposing.
The big power forwards were, because they would hurt you. If you got in the way, they would hurt you, and they'd want to. We didn't play with Lee Matthews, but similar styles of players that they'd be full on at the footy, and if you got in the way, they'd just take you out.
Life after that game, I don't know whether you noticed, but as the players were coming off in the distance, we could see Chris Langford take his jumper off, which obviously was frustration at having a bag of goals kicked off him by you. But more so it was to do with the merger, and it was his statement about the merger not happening. What happened to you guys in the days and weeks after that?
Yeah, it was interesting for us. We, there was a lot of conjecture, and there was still a lot of work to be done. And obviously, Don Scott and the Hawthorn supporters got together, and the no vote. Melbourne ended up voting yes, but it didn't go through. And I remember we were hauled up in a bar with a few guys, with the whole team in a little private room, waiting for the decision for the future, to see where we were heading, and as it turns out, it's been a fantastic thing for the clubs to be able to remain in their own right. And Hawthorn obviously just done some fantastic things, and now one of the most powerful clubs in the AFL.
And yet, if they'd merged those two sides, it would have been a fantastic team.
Yeah. But it's about, and particularly from a Melbourne point of view, it's great that the integrity of the game, really, our club wrote the rules of the game. We've got such a big tie into that history.
And the history is probably the big thing with Chris Langford too. When he took the jumper off, he bled brown and gold for 300 games, and that was his statement to the crowd, to the footy world, that we are Hawthorn, and this is the way we have to stay in this jumper. So it was a really powerful moment. We were sheltered a bit from the later couple of weeks. It was 3 weeks after I think they had the meeting at the Camberwell Civic Centre for Hawthorn, and it was so emotional, but we weren't invited. We were told not to go because it wasn't about us, it was about the footy club, and we were just byproduct in the end. What's happened since then, it was a great unifying moment, as Nita said before, for the Hawthorn Footy Club to really band together. The volunteers came on board, an army of volunteers just to work for the footy club because they loved it, and that really was the great moment out of the whole thing. That was people came together as Hawthorn people and got the club back on track.
Daniel, David, thank you both very much for remembering that game, and it's great to see that the Melbourne and Hawthorn football clubs still strong.
Long may it stand.
Thanks, Dale.
Thank you.
Well done, boys. Great memories from a turbulent time in both clubs' histories. 17 years has passed since, but it seems like a lifetime ago, as both clubs have well and truly put any ideas of a merger behind them. Well, what a perfect way to warm up for this afternoon's big game. There mightn't be a merger on the table, but 4 points are up for grabs when the modern-day Hawks and Demons meet as Sunday football continues on 7.